So I recently went to this Arab singles event in Brooklyn in New York. There was a lot of people, maybe about 200 people, a lot of guys and a lot of girls. So when I went there, obviously there was a lot of attractive women, and then I was going around getting to know people, both guys and girls, getting guys' Instagrams, getting girls' Instagrams, doing a fun dance. This Arab dance is called Debka, doing a fun one of that under one of the instructors who knows what they're doing, learning about this, learning about that, getting to know people. And then from my periphery, I saw this girl. She looked very attractive from far away. I didn't really see her face, but I liked her style more importantly. She had yellow pants on and a white shirt. She also had her hijab, which is the scarf for those of you who don't know, and she was wearing a hat. So I like the style overall. It stood out from every other girl over there, at least in my eyes. So I see her from my periphery, and then I'm like, eventually I want to go talk to her. So she was going that way, you know, kind of outside of the park. It was the Brooklyn Bridge Park. Outside of that to go do something or to leave, I don't know. And so I see her do that. I'm talking to this person. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go get a water bottle. I'll be right back, which was my plan. I was gonna speak to her, get my water bottle, and eventually come back. Because these people were playing Frisbee and I wanted to continue playing with them. So I go out, I speak to her, she was there. She was on her way coming back into the park and I was going out because I actually wanted to drink some water. The moment I saw her, I was just like, I really like your style. I like your hat. One of the two, I think I said, I like your hat. And then she smiled awkwardly, oh, thank you. I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's your name? She's like, my name is blah, blah, blah. What's your name? My name is Assam. We talked for a few. What brings you here? Where are you from? What's your ethnicity? What's your age? And then I told her, I'm actually going this way to go get some water. Why don't you follow me? So she did. I was going to get the water bottle from my car that was parked in the garage, but I didn't want to take it to the garage with me because it's kind of weird. She might be a little creeped out. So what actually ended up happening was I went to the bathroom and I had water just from the water fountain over there. So we talked for a few, we went back to the park. Before going in, we sat on a bench and we continued talking back and forth. All I remember was I was very random with my questions. I was asking her whatever came to mind, nothing rude or anything, but just very bold and random at the same time and being playful, lighthearted, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you typically don't expect this, do you? She's like, no. But she seemed to have a fun time. Long story short, we talked and bantered for 10, 15 minutes total from A to Z. Ended up getting her number and then, I went on back to, the Arab Socials event, the people there. I wanted to continue playing Frisbee. So the whole reason why I'm telling you the story, man, is because a lot of guys, when they're put in the situation, they will make it awkward just because their feelings are awkward. You see, man, I have a theory. Nothing in life is really awkward unless you make it awkward, because here's what it is. The way I see awkwardness is more of a feeling than an actual thing, right? You feel awkward, or you're making people feel awkward because you feel awkward yourself. You feel awkward yourself because you're not comfortable, because you were embarrassed here, you were embarrassed there. You said something that you think would offend someone else or come off as awkward when it really isn't. Someone says something to you that comes off as offensive or awkward when a lot of times it usually isn't. So that makes you feel awkward, and when you feel awkward, the people around you feel awkward and they associate you with an awkward person. But what usually happens, man, when it comes to guys getting to know girls, a lot of them think, no, I can't say that, that's awkward. I can't approach her this way, that's awkward. You can't just go ahead and approach her straightforward like you do and say, hey, you have a nice hat on, I like your hat, I like your style, or whatever, and then just carry on the conversation from there. Too many guys are like, no, we have to strategically plan it out. You have to say this first, and then after saying that, you have to approach her this way, you have to ask if she has a friend. You gotta go through all these loopholes just to get to know a girl, really, bro? So the whole point of the story, man, is you're going to make a girl feel awkward if you feel awkward. Not just a girl, people in general. Your social life will suffer if you have an awkward reaction towards everything you do or everything you want to do just because you think that you will be viewed in a certain way when really no one really gives a shit. At the end of the day, man, no one really gives a shit. People really focus mainly on themselves. And even in the rare event that you were to do something awkward, which probably isn't gonna happen, but in the rare event, right, that you actually were going to do something awkward, people really don't care, bro. People mainly are concerned with themselves. It's called the spotlight effect in psychology. Everyone thinks that everyone's looking at them. I think everyone's looking at me. He thinks everyone's looking at him. She thinks everyone's looking at her. No one really gives a damn. So the whole point of what I'm trying to say is, don't feel awkward. And the way not to feel awkward is two things. To have self-confidence in yourself, which comes from knowing how to do certain things and, having confidence in your career and progression in your career, in your finances, in your relationship, in your social circle. And the second is just repetition. If you keep repeating and keep talking to people randomly, get used to the habit of talking to people at, the singles event that I went to. If you have that habit down packed, You could just talk to people and make friends easily, make friends with this guy, make friends with this guy, make friends with this girl, this older woman who's 20 years old, this older man who's 20 years old, this woman who's 8 years younger than me, this man who's 8 years younger than me, and just join whatever activity they're doing. They were literally dancing this one dance called Debka, like I was saying earlier, which like it's a group of, it's an Arab dance where people are holding hands and they're going around in this ring and they have this weird, this cool foot movement. So long story short, I saw two of my friends there. They saw me, they're like, hey, join us. So I joined. It's that simple. And then I talked to this person, this girl, that guy. The whole point is, if you approach every situation, oh, I can't do that, it's awkward. I can't approach this, I can't approach this. No one gives a shit, dude. Approach people based upon your natural self. The words that come out of your mouth, make them the same as the words that are in your head. If you have something in your mind, you want to compliment someone on anything, not just a girl, a guy. Yo, I like your jacket, bro. I really like that jacket. I like your hair. I like your sunglasses. Some of them are gonna be like, oh, thanks, man, thank you. What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. They'll be really friendly. You'll be surprised. And then you talk to them. You get into the habit of talking to people randomly, anywhere. At the grocery store, at events like this, on the street, anywhere. When you get into that habit, you'll be able to talk to women the same way. I'm actually gonna make a video really soon proving that I actually know my shit. Talking to women, strangers, it's most likely gonna be in a park. Not 100%, but most likely it's gonna be in a park where I do this, I approach them, I get their numbers, and I just prove to you guys that I know what I'm talking about. So anyways, that feeling of awkwardness that's inside of you, it's not real. It's part of you, it's part of your old conditioning telling you that you can't do this because your old conditioning wants to keep you stuck in the ways in which you were being before. Socially, mentally, every way, physically. It wants to keep you stuck because that's unfamiliar to you. And if you go ahead and do that, you run the risk of being embarrassed, of not knowing what to say, of not knowing who to talk to. You run those kinds of risks, but at the end of the day, man, what I've noticed is also this. If you aren't fazed for the most part about the situations that happen in your life, it could be anything, right? The worst case scenario, you're in front of a group of people and all of a sudden you slip and you drop a bunch of soda on you. I don't know, I have white pants right now. I swear to God, if that were to happen to me, truthfully, sure, I might be a little embarrassed, but I'd own it. If it's soda on my white pants, I'll be like, shit, guys, my white pants are screwed. I just dropped a bunch of soda on myself. I might even take a picture and laugh it off. Sure, does it suck that these pants are now damaged? Sure. But still, it's a funny experience. I'll own it. I'm not gonna feel awkward about it. I'll still approach people. I'll still talk to people. The whole bottom line is, feeling awkward is oftentimes just in your head. And when you get into the habit of talking to anyone at any time, any place, not just women, that awkward part that's in your brain immediately just is destroyed. It's killed. You start being more self-confident because you understand that you're, number one, confident in yourself because you're self-actualizing in other areas of your life. You're improving, with your finances, with your physical fitness, with your relationships, your social life, whatever. And the other part is you've done this enough times to the point where you really don't give a shit what anyone thinks about you. Some people are gonna think you're weird. That's just how it is. If you're really outgoing like me and you really just are able to approach anyone like that, some people might be like, oh, who is this guy? Who does he think he is? Oh, who is this guy? Oh, you just randomly talking to someone. Oh, does he have any ulterior motives? No, that's just how I am. I talk to people wherever I go. And sure, you don't have to be naturally extroverted like me, but having this story in the back of your mind about I really don't care, as long as I'm not harming anyone, I'm gonna talk to whoever and say whatever, just like I did earlier, just literally last Saturday, approaching that girl. I didn't care about the outcome. Obviously, I'd want the outcome to work in my favor. Who wouldn't? Because she looked cute. I liked her style because that's what stood out to me in my eyes compared to the other girls in that event. But even if it didn't, I wouldn't have been beating myself up about it. Oh, I was so awkward. I shouldn't have done that. No, I would have still went about my business. I would have still socialized with the rest of the people there, got to know them. There was about 200 people there. I'm not going to get hung up on just one girl who rejected me if she did. So stop worrying about feeling awkward because awkward is all this delusion that's in your head. You're telling yourself you're awkward. You're telling yourself you feel awkward. You're telling yourself this person's gonna think I'm awkward. This person's not gonna like me. These people aren't gonna like me. Everybody's looking at me strange. No one gives a shit, bro. Just own it. Even if you say something that's weird, right? If you happen to say something that's weird, which chances are you're not, but even if you do, own it. Be like, oh shit, that was weird. And then change the subject. Get into the habit. Change the subject. Change the subject. Change the subject. Think on your feet. Be witty. Be clever. This is gonna come with time and experience. You're gonna learn this. As you progress, as you become more confident, as you become better socially, more outgoing or more on your feet, more random. Change the subject if you ever feel like it's kind of weird or you weird the other person out. Therefore, awkwardness doesn't really exist. It exists only up in here in your mind. You say whatever the fuck you want to say. As long as you're not offensive to anyone, at least not intentionally, you're getting to know them, you're genuine, Oh, what brings you here, man? Where are you from? Oh yeah, what's your name? What brings you here? And you talk to the girl. Oh yeah, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. I like your shirt. I like this. I like blah, blah, blah. You don't even have to be flirting with anyone. You can be complimenting people just because it's coming from your heart. You like that guy's shirt. You like this girl's shoes. You like this girl's scarf. Doing that is actually way more effective than just being afraid of what everyone else is going to think about you. Try that out from now on. Speak to just anyone as long as you actually want to. Whatever's in here, listen to it. If you don't want to talk to that person, don't talk to that person. But if up here you like that person's jacket, oh, I like your jacket, man. If it's a girl, oh, hey, I like your hat. I like your jacket. I like your shoes. Genuinely, get into a conversation. What brings you here? Where are you from? Oh, all right, I'm going to go get blah, blah, blah. I'll see you in a few. I'm going right there to go to get a bottle of water. You want to follow me? If not, all right, I'll see you later. I'll see you when I come back. Easy. Don't make it awkward. The whole point of the story is basically to get you confidence. That's it. Socially confidence. When you have social confidence, you can approach people with confidence. You can make eye contact with confidence. You can change the conversation with confidence. Escalate the conversation in the direction you want it to, of course. Be lighthearted, be funny, be cool, be charismatic, and then people are naturally going to be attracted to you. People are going to be gravitated towards you because you're a playful, non-threatening vibe. You're charismatic, you're cool, and people are going to want to naturally talk to you because of the vibe that you give off. Watch and try it out for yourself.